as facts and what facts are important or not are going to be shaped by values and assumptions. So, and you know, if the guests are going to have access to, say, the show you do, are going to be people like Karen and Smitty. Well, they're going to bring their kind of values and assumptions. Just like, you know, when CNN talks to the Pentagon, they're going to bring their values and assumptions as well. So for what medium and what show or forum you're going to be a part of, you have to think about what's important to you, and you know, ascertain the facts honestly. Not be so much into the business of wanting to mislead people, but just like give them information and insights that you find valuable. And understand that it's like one contribution to a field of knowledge and other resources from which readers and listeners and consumers can get further educated about.
I'll say one thing too about as far as what I think we bring as far as value, because I know for me one of the big issues has been trying to reach youth, because a lot of them are so apathetic. They're just, you know, they don't. I don't think it's not that they don't care. It's that because they hear the same information 100 times a day, no matter what channel you turn on the TV, you know, they just don't want to hear it anymore. So I think one of the value-added things that we do as community media activists or producers or whatever is to bring a different spin on it, bring in more information, as someone said, present more complete information, and also try to pinpoint the things that they're interested in, and so that they will start caring about things, you know, and not be apathetic about what's going on, you know, across the country. You know, Tuesday's an election day here, and I know that, you know, probably maybe 25% of the, you know, the college age and of age kids, you know, up to 30, will go vote, because a lot of them, they just don't care. Why don't they care? Because they're not connected to what they see in the media, in the mainstream media, and I think it's our job to try to connect with them and make them care, so that they will take action and not sit back and, you know, watch MTV all day.
And it's wearing a Barack Obama shirt.
Yes, I went last night.
Right. Well, beyond simply, I mean, we can use Barack Obama as an example, someone who seems to be galvanizing the youth vote probably a bit more than other national candidates have in recent years. We can, whether or not you're wanting for president or not, it might be useful to look at that and see what he's doing in order to generate interest in a certain age demographic, and how we can learn from that in terms of what we're doing as media producers.
It's as simple as an invitation. That's all he's doing. He's saying, young people, you matter. And that's why I think they're attracting us there. It's the same thing community broadcast we can do, is reach out to young people and say, you matter, and this is why you matter, because this affects your life, and we're going to show you the tools that you need to produce programming like this and why it should be important to you. It's real basic.
Well, he's also saying you don't have to be rich. I don't care how much money you've got, we just want you to be part of what we're doing. And they respond to that.
Well, I'm sure not going to put my camcorder through the security system to go film Barack. Well, because you give them your camcorder and they take it out of the bag right here and they open up where you put your tape in there and they start messing with it.
They haven't done that to me. I've been going to all those.
Have you filmed them?
I've been filming
which
him.
Ones have you been? Which ones?
Hillary and Barack in San Antonio. I didn't have a problem.
They didn't screen you either time?
Yeah, they screen you, but they didn't mess with my camera.
Well, I just want to describe one situation, and I think that sort of, to me, is the epitome of value in the media. We did a short thing on Lockheed Martin when they had a strike. So we thought, well, let's go drive into Lockheed Martin and let them give us the tour and what they do for the media, right? Well, Lockheed Martin told us, oh, come on in, and we'll give you the tour. Well, we found out from the union, if you go over to Lockheed Martin, you can't come in the union house. You have to be out in the yard. And our idea was, here's all these corporate media going over there to Lockheed, and nobody's going into the Union House, you know, because they were afraid that they would be misrepresented. And people were really tired in the Union House. They'd been there for a good long while trying to have a vigil and affect change. And they were pretty much exhausted, so it was just sort of people with their hair down. So we said, well, there's enough folks over there. And we went in the Union Hall, and we got interviews from the union folks about what their issues were. But none of that was ever covered on the TV because people are polarized before you ever get there. So I think there's a need, like you said, for both medias, for the corporate media to show, like, I'm not going in the Pentagon.
I don't think there's that much of a need for
I mean-
corporate media, and it's like, something I think about the corporate media is how much does corporate media really have to be invested in the status quo? I mean, I guess to some degree, you're gonna have like critical pieces in the corporate media, but I think they tend to suck up to other sectors of power probably more than they need to. And I think in kind of day-to-day operations, it's about access. It's like, I don't want to do this story, otherwise I'm going to lose access to this, you know, administration official and stuff like that. For the kind of media that we're involved with, you know, we don't even think about, again, as officials, we think more in terms of activists, people, community organizations, grassroots.
Alternative voices.
Alternative voices.
Well, not necessarily,
Yeah, go ahead.
not necessarily, because I worked at the Texas legislature for 4 sessions, so
Uh-huh.
I have access to a lot of people. And, my role is to make them look as good as I possibly can on television, on my little community access television show, whenever they get in front of the media and do something good.
Isn't that biased?
No, it isn't. Look, for example, Rick Perry does this, it's called the Roundup, and it's for health, for people, how to become healthy, and there's a 5K run, and I make him look as good as I can and put him on television.
You
Let me
mean
give-
make him look good by the questions you ask?
No, by filming him, whatever he decides he wants to do, I film him and I edit it and I make it look good on television.
It is biased.
Well, his musician that he put on band was Tish Hinojosa. And so what I did was, during the break, I went up to Tish Hinojosa and I said, we just had 500,000 show up in the Dallas on the immigration issue. And so what I want you to do is I want us to send a message to Rick Perry on immigration liberation. So would you please, for the next set, choose all the songs that deal with immigration reform. And so she came back with this great big smile on her face, and the whole last set had to deal with immigration reform. And then I picked up the phone after I edited it and called up Rick Perry's press secretary and said that Tish and I had a message that we wanted to give him on immigration reform.
So you slanted your story to look.
Yeah, well, yeah, so what I do is I try to take advantage of every given situation, but I made him look good with the Mexicans, and I also made immigration reform look